Okay, we're live. Though it's going to take a little bit for the chat to join in, and we can see if they can hear you or not. Man, I really hate YouTube for taking out Google Hangouts. It was so good. You could like test things before you go on air. You could schedule when a stream starts. I don't think you can do those now, so. I don't know. I think like 3 months ago. So, chat, I need to know if you can hear the lady. Lady speak. It's going to take a little bit for the chat to join in. And... Man, I really hate YouTube for... I don't know, but like once in California, always in California, I guess. You could like test things before you go on air. You could schedule when a stream starts. I don't think you can do those now. I don't know. I think like... Yeah, I think the chat can't hear you. So give me a second. This is so infuriating. God, I loved Google Hangouts. It was literally made for me. And now they're like, you need to go through all these loops like Zoom calls and shit. Wait for the chat to call you a boomer. It's... You know, like, I'm willing to bet I take a random person from the chat who's like, hey, boomer, hey, boomer. They wouldn't know how to do this shit. It would be confusing for them. If I put them to do it. Yeah, no, cause like usually I see people in the chat. Give me a second. Give me just give me just 1 second. Okay, no, cause like usually I see people in the chat like, oh, booba, booba, and I'm like, okay, so this guy probably knows what the fuck he's talking about. He knows, and I ask him like, how do I fix? I don't know. And like, yeah, yeah. He doesn't know. All right. Let's see if it works now. How can you prep? There is no prep. You can only do it live. For the love of God. Let's see. And another thing that I hate is the 10 seconds delay. Like you can't find out if it's working out until you wait for like 30 or 40 seconds. Yeah. It still doesn't work. My God. Let me. You know what? I'll put you on the freaking speaker. If I put you on the speaker, then chat will complain that you're too low and I'm too loud. Oh.
Like, hold the microphone so close to my face. Oh my God.
It should be like record system audio, but I just can't find it. Display capture, game capture, blah blah blah. Try saying something.
Better.
Yeah, I think I can hear you now. Let's see.
Okay.
You need to say something more for the chat too.
Okay. No, I'm like focusing outside. I'm looking outside. I'm like lost.
Okay. All right. Let's see if it works.
Oh, it's echoing on my side. How did we do it before?
We didn't use Zoom. We used something else. Try saying something.
Use that one?
I think that one works. Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, I think I can hear. Yeah, now people hold on. People can hear it, but it's very very dim now.
We can use Zencaster, but that's gonna remove the option to answer. But like I said, you can send me the link to the news or whatever you're reading to my messenger, and I'll just open it up.
Hold on. Advanced audio properties. Here we go. Volume. Try saying something now.
Okay. Testing.
Hear you now. Let's see. Yeah, now people hold on. People can hear it, but it's very very dim now. Okay, I'll try some other way. I'll try disabling the headphones and just use the speakers, and people will hear it through the speakers. It's really lame, but I don't know how else I can do it.
On my screen, I'm looking at you right now. Just a bunch of screen I see the chat, but then you're frozen.
How is life in California? Apparently she moved, so I'm not going to invite her anymore because I just want people from California. I don't want I don't want posers.
Well, guys,
They can't hear you, woman. They can't hear you. Chillax. Alright.
that's not sexy. You want to try Zencaster?
No, hold on. I think I got it.
Yeah, maybe because I'm the host
I
or
don't know.
something. Yeah.
I think they can hear you now because I just changed the thing. Oh, let's see if it works.
No.
I don't want posers.
You said you want to be posers. You know, dude, like the West
They can't-
Coast, Oregon,
They
Washington,
can't
California,
hear you.
Nevada,
Chill out.
Idaho, we're kind of like
Alright,
the same.
Okay, they can hear you now. Fine.
Oh, you're echoing a little bit.
You're
where
going to
I
have to
am.
deal with that. I don't know any other solution. So, welcome back. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but it is what it is.
V and I should prepare for this
You should.
next time.
Right. So, what should we start with? This is breaking news right now. You know that Governor DeSantis from Florida. He said that he wants to pass a law that would prevent big tech from banning public officials. And apparently a judge has said that it's going to infringe on the right of big tech for free speech.
Okay.
I mean, technically
Like-
it's true, but it still creates a problem because I honestly think big tech is like the phone company now. And imagine back in the day, like the phone company just unilaterally having the ability to cut the phone line to whomever they want.
Right. And they didn't you do a video that they YouTube removed Twitter removed right wing watch. So they're doing the same thing.
Oh
right?
no,
So
like
you-
no. They removed it for like a couple of minutes. Like they accidentally applied the terms of service equally for a couple of minutes. And then they realized that there was too much pressure from journalists who were like, well, without right-wing watch, like, what, do you want us to actually work for a living? Like, do you want us to actually go out on the internet and find the news ourselves? So they reinstated right-wing watch. And it happened, like, I don't get why YouTubers don't figure this out yet. Like, every now and then a prominent left-leaning channel will get banned and everyone is like, see, now they're going after the leftists, but they immediately get reinstated. The only leftists that they actually go against are the TERFs. Like, the TERFs are legitimately, like the type of leftists that a couple of years ago advocated for terms of service and they advocated for trust and safety councils and blah, blah, blah. And now it's being used against them. Like, they're legitimately, as far as I can tell, the only, like, left-leaning people that get persecuted, like J.K. Rowling, for instance, right?
Oh, you're talking about okay. So you're talking about the feminists, the one who are okay. Yeah. So the thing is like with big, like you said, with big tech, they're big already, and I agree with you. Like they need to be broken up. And of course, like the libertarians, they're going to come in. They're going to be like, oh well,
Skynet is my private company and can do whatever it wants as a Terminator crushes their back,
that's the argument of the libertarians. That's
Yes.
kind of weird because the thing is that the Silicon Valley, they're I think what country banned them? I think it's like in Africa or was it?
It was two countries. So you have, I believe, Nigeria and another African country recently. But what's interesting is that it's exactly the response that a country would get if they banned Huawei, and the CCP steps in. Like some country banned Twitter, and immediately Joe Biden stepped in, and he was like, "No, this is unacceptable. We need a free and open internet. You can't ban Twitter." And the reason they banned Twitter is because Twitter banned their president.
Right. And so
yeah, Uganda. Uganda was it.
I mean, it's like they remove. Is Trump still banned off of Twitter? Like he's like permanently removed. He can't come back on.
No, he is permanently removed. Yeah.
Yeah, and then on Facebook too, they had this like council meeting that they're gonna remove him.
Yeah. Like this independent council working for Facebook. Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, this is just a conspiracy theory. You two people, okay, this is just me, and I shouldn't say this, but you know, you're banning him for 2 years, and what's the election in 2022? I think that's the I should know this. I'm not fucking.
I'm pretty sure they'll reban him. I mean, it's not like if they unban him, they can't reban him. You know.
Well, they have what is the alternative of YouTube that
BitChute?
Rumble. He's on Rumble now.
Yeah, he's on Rumble. Yeah, he's got already more subscribers than I do. I'm getting jealous. I guess I need to start my rallies in the United States.
What is his son? I think his son is like up to like 500 subscribers, I believe. By now, I don't know.
It's quite high,
that's quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we have to like with. I mean, you and I could be talking about this about them, the big techs breaking up and stuff like that, but we're losing because the fact that we, you and I, we're not right wing or left wing. We're kind of like, you know.
No, I'm a centrist. Like I have a lot of left leaning positions and I have right leaning positions. Right.
Yeah, so like we can argue with hypocrites all day long, but you know they have dominated the culture here in the United States of America, and let alone the United States is pretty much the face of the world, so that includes you as well. So the best thing we can do is all of us should move to like alt tech or something. But then at the same time, just like Parler, I even said when Parler came out, I say, hey, you know what's going to happen? They're going to start smearing Parler because this whole thing that Parler was not what was it? Amazon removed him because the fact they weren't moderating. I mean, I was on Parler. I didn't see, I saw
you edgy girl. You probably organized that shit. you were probably the mastermind. Yeah, like it turns out like most of the organization took place on Facebook, but you're not going to get any issues with Facebook. Anyway, let's look at something else that's interesting because I found a couple of news articles which I want to go through with you. So let me just scroll down a little bit. Here's an interesting take, okay? Like a very cheerful news here. It's from Romania, so I'm going to translate it. It's from the United Kingdom. So a father had to sell his car to pay the debt that his son created. So his son took the father's cell phone and played video games where he bought microtransactions worthy of $1,300. Muhammad, 41 years old.
Wait, no, why can I say it like that?
Muhammad, I had like friends at the University of Medicine. That's how they pronounce the. It's like from the third larynx. It's like Muhammad. Yeah. Ashtaz Butatsa, 7 years old, did not ask for the permission of his father and started playing with the cell phone, accessing different options to buy diamonds for his favorite game. He did not realize that he's going to push his dad into bankruptcy. So Muhammad, 41 years old, realized the error of his ways once he found on his email 29 receipts for transactions between £2 and £100 for a monster game called Rise of Burke. We got some sponsored content here. All right. The father now needs to sell the car, a Toyota Aygo, to cover the debt made on Apple iTunes, worthy of £1,289.
Oh my goodness, yes. That's a lot of game.
Yes.
Diamonds for the game, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Well, no, because apparently, like, it's a psychological trick. Because you'll notice, like, a lot of these games, they ask you to buy some in-game currency, like buy some diamonds or some gems or some shit, or riot points in League of Legends. And the idea is that once you do that, you kind of detach the value of the money. So let's take a game like League of Legends. Have you played League of Legends?
I've heard about it. Yeah, my husband plays it, but yeah, go ahead.
It's got beautiful tits in it. So. For example, like you get like these really cute girls, like foxy girls and stuff, and then you can buy them clothing and you can dress them up to impress, right? But in order to buy the clothing, in order to sexy them up, you need to first buy riot points. And you spend like $30 to buy like 5,000 riot points. And then when you buy the costumes for the ladies, they cost like 250 riot points, 300 riot points. The reason they do this is so you detach the costume from the money.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Like
So
psychological play. Yeah.
Yeah. That's literally what they did here. And it's apparently like the kid played 1,280 pounds for it. Ashtaz played 1 hour. Can you realize? Like if the kid would have played more. So he played just 1 hour on the phone, and the dad had no idea that his kid was doing transactions.
I wonder why he didn't get any notification, because my son did the same thing. Like it's connected, like with Google, like Google Play, your information, like your credit card information is connected. But I put a passcode, and my son, he donated to a Jewish foundation. He started to donate to it. Yeah, like he donated. I have no idea why. Like he played this game, and then he donated to a foundation, and I started to see like all these like suspicious credit card transaction. So I started to put password on it, and I got a refund. I don't know why he can't get a refund. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, see, I don't know how it's in the United Kingdom, but here in Romania, like, if you can prove that this happened, like a kid got your phone or something, you file a lawsuit and then you get your money back, but then the banks get upset if you do that. So
really? I don't, it's that hard. Damn.
Yeah, like the banks get upset because you're invalidating the transaction. Like you're pretty much like becoming how should I say, like an untrustworthy client, you know, because they can say, well, if it happens again, like if it happens again, then so yeah. But the thing is, it's like what I don't get, like someone in the chat is like, why would you allow a kid to have access to a phone tied to a credit card? I mean, most people are boomers. They don't realize, like, for example, you might buy something from the iStore and you forget that the credit card is logged in.
It's stored there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's stored there. Like my advice is, if you have a kid, never give him your phone. Like, either buy a phone for the kid or never give him your phone. Like, that's literally it, you know, because like when you buy a phone for your kid, then you can control it. Like, you can have all sorts of apps that you can see what your kid is browsing. Like, we're talking about a 7-year-old, right? We're not talking about and then you get more control. Like, you can see where he's browsing, what he's doing. Because, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of predatory apps like this game, for instance, where you think that nothing wrong is happening, and then you realize, oh, shit, you got the $1,270 bill.
And then, like, the apps, it pops up constantly. I'm really in control of my son. He likes to play, like, a lot of Toca Boca and stuff like that. And these ads just constantly comes up, like it pops up. It pops up at the bottom of the screen. So when he's trying to remove it, he can't do it. So that's why I have I agree with the chat. Like they because when you're shopping, you don't really think that Google, they save your credit card information.
Yeah.
And so in order for him to use like Google Play and stuff like that, we have to sign in to our account. So then our, that credit card information is attached to your Google as well. So, and like I said, you have that option now, but I didn't do it because I was stupid. That he started charging my account like $50, $60. And I'm like, what the?
Because the kid probably doesn't even realize. Like the thing that really shocked me is that in League of Legends, okay, when you buy like a nice costume for your Foxy lady, it doesn't ask you for your credit card information. Like, it doesn't even ask for that security code.
Holy shit. Yeah, damn, that's predatory, dude.
It is.
Like, for they didn't even know nothing. Like, okay, like, when we were growing up, remember we played video games, and you had to, like, beat... There was no money involved. We bought everything packed into that game as is. And we put codes, you put the codes in, and you unlock things. But now... Dude, like the ad that just popped up on the screen right now.
But like what's even scarier is that when I want to pay the electric bill, I'll tell you like the journey that I have to go through, right? So I want to pay the electric bill. I go on the website, ask for user and password, right? And then I click that I want to pay. I have to add the credit card information. Now the credit card information is saved in, right? So I don't have to put the credit card number or one. But I have to put the last 3 letters. And after I put like the last 3, the ones on the back of the card, like those.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I have to put those in, and after I put those in, I get I need to go into my phone's app, like my banking app on my phone, and I need to log into that. And after I log into that, it asks me for a password. And after I put the password, it sends like an SMS on my phone,
Right.
and I need to type that in. But if I go on one of these video games websites that are free to play, and you just need to buy a skin or some shit, it's automatic. And I think like, how the fuck? Like, why? What?
It's like the little boy just want to buy some new bra for his girlfriend.
Eh. See, I got this twat in the chat saying that cell phones were a mistake, and this guy is at an IT university, and he tells me that he's got like this idea that he's giving to his professors, that he wants to make a program, an app, so that
Right.
when you have your phone in your hand, if like it will look at your eyes, and if your eyes are on the screen when the ad is displaying, the ad keeps playing, but if you look the other way, the ad stops playing.
Hmm.
And I'm like, holy
Getting
fuck, dude, that is...
He's gonna destroy a lot of jobs, but hey, I mean that's if it's like with kids, I understand because my son when he like I said, when he has his own phone, and I think we're gonna make like a totally different Google account for him. I shouldn't, but it's a safe way for us because this little kid, he just if he wants something, he'll like sneak and try to find my credit card information and put it in him, put it in himself. But like I said, I made it so difficult where I don't save my stuff anymore on Google. And like I said, it just automatically just saves it for you when you're like, no, I don't want to save it. Do you want to save it? No, I don't want to save it. And it's just so it should be very difficult. But I've heard that stories of I think this one kid he bought like 6,000 or like 10,000 or something like that. There's a kid that was on Twitch where he used his parents' credit card information. I think it was like 10 grand. They were in debt. I was like, holy shit. I was like, what the? But I don't know. It just it's crazy. Like
No,
with this
I know what
technology.
you're saying. It's like, I guess technology has advanced so rapidly that parents haven't caught up. Because a lot of parents didn't live through this. Like, they don't really know about these games. Like, my mom doesn't know that. Like, my mom thinks you buy a game and that's it, it's yours. Alright? Like, she wouldn't even know that you can have games where you just spend microtransactions and stuff. Like, she's not aware of that.
Like in even the the PlayStation as well. Like when you buy like okay, like you buy Call of Duty, for
Yeah.
example. Even then, you have to pay to get some stuff. You have to pay to get the maps. You have to, like it's like they're just bleeding it. Like the gaming industry has changed so much that it's becoming so expensive. I mean, back in the day when we were playing the original Nintendo, it was just like we bought the game, that's it. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it. But now
I
you're
mean,
constantly buying
I think
stuff.
it would mindfuck my mom if she knew about the OnlyFans. It's like, what? People give money to women just because they exist? It's like, yes.
Is your mom like did your mom came from like a generation like the boomers or was she like born
No,
after?
she was born in communism, so I don't know if we had like
That's true.
yeah, I guess we don't have names for generations here. I guess like there was like a marketing thing that would say the generation with the key around your neck. And
Oh,
the
okay.
reason that they said this is because when I grew up, like a lot of kids would have like a necklace with the key around their neck because the parents would be out working and they would be at school, and you know like that's the way you could keep your key because you didn't have a lot of pockets back then. Like the clothing didn't have pockets, so in order not to lose
Right.
the key, like the parents would make like a little string with the key attached around their neck.
That's crazy. But
Uh,
like what if you have multiple babies? Do you start putting keys on your neck?
yeah, like everyone gets a key.
Yeah.
Well, probably not. I mean, it would probably be like the biggest brother would have the key. I mean,
That's true.
yeah. Happy increased sales tax day, Californian, says political defiant. Well, at least in the Bay Area and LA area, yeah, for paying 10.75% on all the stuff. See, I'm looking at this and I'm laughing because the VAT tax in Romania, which is the equivalent of the sale tax, is, I believe it's like 19% here. So,
Right. Right.
but
Like here in Nevada, we don't have income tax or anything like that. We have sales tax, but it's not really high. But even then, like the gas prices over here, because I live now in rural Nevada, but like the gas prices is up through the fucking roof. But at the same time, it's like summer. Maybe that's why because people are traveling. But damn, it's just like it's hurting our ass. Like it's
yeah. Like a lot of people
right
don't
in.
understand. It's like, oh yeah, gas prices is going up. Oh good, that means we get to save the environment. It's like, no, that means you get to pay more for everything.
Everything is going up, bro. Here it's like the meat, the is going up. Chips are going up. Okay, everything's going up.
I'm
Everything.
surprised. I'm surprised I haven't seen articles from journalists saying everything is going up, and that's a good thing.
But isn't their job? They're losing their jobs like crazy, like journalism, because the fact that they're competing, like everything's online now. They get the news online, so they're losing their jobs. I mean, nobody wants to hear your fucking take on celebrities anymore. You know what I mean? So I don't even know why. It's like,
No, there's many reasons why journalists are losing their job, and I made a video on my main channel saying journalists are losing their job faster than the coal industry, which is true.
yeah, you know, like we're
I
here.
know that, but like think about it. Like how do journalists make money? They make money from people advertising, right? But if all the small
Right.
mom and pop businesses go under, and they don't have money, they're not advertising. So yeah, that's the problem. That's why the journalists are the main issue why journalists are losing their job.
Right. And like there was an article, I think it was like in San Francisco, like millennials, people our age range, you know what I mean? They're making like 100,000, they're making six figures, and yet they're still living paycheck to paycheck. Like it blows my fucking mind. Like how do you live paycheck to paycheck? I mean, could you imagine you're making like that six figure in Romania?
My
You'd be like,
mother is living like paycheck, and by the time the next paycheck comes, she doesn't have money like a week or two before. So it's not really that difficult to not live paycheck to paycheck.
It's because of their lifestyle. I think it's like with millennials. Like you grew up in Romania. I grew up in the United States of America. So here in the U.S., millennials, we tend to like if you look at how they spend their money, they spend money every day on Starbucks. They spend money every day on waxing. They go to
Oh,
like
I know what my mom spends money on. It's cigarettes. I mean, no, like think about it, and it's funny, but like in Romania, the government puts an added tax on cigarettes, so they're more expensive than they should be. So a pack of
Right.
cigarettes is like I think it's like $6 or something like that. Yeah, and if you smoke a pack a day, then it's 6 times 7. God, I'm a doctor, not a mathematician.
I'm a defective Asian, so I can help you. Mathematics, I fucking fail. Like something happened when I was like in the Asian factory and just like defective. But
Yeah,
like my sisters, I think the only one in my family that smokes is my older siblings, and they spend like $8 on like a pack. That's in California. They live in California. I don't know about here in Nevada.
Okay, I can do 8. I can do 8. So 8 times 5 is 40. That leaves like 40 plus 16. That's 56. So 56 a week. Let's round it up to 60 times 4. That's like $280 just on cigarettes. That's insane. And
Yeah.
the Romanian wage is like $1,000 a month. So
Yeah, that's really expensive. And does like even then when we talked about it, like in Romania, you guys don't have like a welfare system because here, you know, when welfare, you get money, you get, you know, childcare, you get medical, you get all that good stuff along with it. So you're
Political Defined from California says 2008 had higher gas prices. Is that true? Why gas seems more expensive is because of the taxes, thanks to the bureaucrats. I paid $4.90.
right.
I paid $490 in California in 2009. Is there a little bit of inflation? Sure, but taxes.
Yeah, he's right too because in 2008 I was in California too. It was during Governor Brown, who was a Democrat, and I remember paying like it was like $5 a gallon, and you know like I was driving a truck that time, and so you know that's like $100 just to put like fill my gas tank, bro. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna ride the bus with all these crazy people and shit because you know like with the cities and stuff, it's like seeing the city that I used to be in. It's like it's becoming not the one that I grew up in. You know what I mean? Like I was sad when I moved out to Nevada because California got some great ass weather. Like out here in Nevada, it's just desert. That's it. Just desert and you see a lot of just like nothing. But at the same time, it's just like it's a lot better because even though like Nevada is still kind of ish bluish, they're still kind of like the old school Democrat kind of mindset. So it's very rural. You can do pretty much anything you want. There over here where I live now, it's a lot of miners. So like gold miners.
Oh, I thought like minors. Okay. Like underage people. And I was like, oh, where I live, there's a lot of underage people. I'm like, Jesus.
And it's like, and they, dude, like the miners here, they make more than journalists.
That's
like crazy.
crazy. I mean, being a miner is a skill that people are willing to pay for. So.
Dude, it's like they make more than the journalists. Like get a fucking job that people are willing like to pay you for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know the ratings of like the main. I guess you guys call it the legacy media. I don't know how much they make a year. Like sometimes I hear like they make 60,000. Sometimes I hear they make 70,000.
Depends what you do, I guess. Like depends what you do. If you're a higher up, like a director or something, then you make a lot of money. If you're just like like a run of the mill hot take journalist, then you probably make less.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like all these journalists that you see now is just like. I used to like watching like Vice. I don't know if you got it's a chat or you.
I actually spoke with the Vice journalist. Okay, like the guy was right wing as fuck, but he was writing like all the leftist cancer. And I showed him the article. It's like, how the fuck can you write this? It's like, well, it's a job, I do what I paid for. They pay me to write leftist garbage. I write leftist garbage. You're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
And he likes. Is he like? He doesn't agree politically with their stuff.
No,
so
he's incredibly right wing. Like I mean, for him, probably Donald Trump is a centrist. Okay, like he's like as right wing as they come, and he's just like writing the most leftist garbage, the most leftist takes.
How does a journalist work in Romania? Do you guys have to get like a license or something to operate?
No. But by the way, before we go into Romania, like I asked him, it's like, how do you write all this garbage? And it's like, well, I'm a right winger, like he was far right, but he considers himself a right winger. It's like instead of Jewish people, I say white. Like I think in my head that instead of Jews, I put white, and that's the article, and I'm like, fuck me, dude.
Dude, that's what I hate to say that, dude. Like I hate to say that. Like every time I hear them saying. Like Kendi makes like if you guys don't know who Kendi is, I'm pretty sure you guys do. He's like the biggest race baiter here in the United States. And every time he says white supremacy and stuff like that, I'm thinking to myself, I go, isn't like majority of the people that's like in power are like Jewish? So you have a problem with white supremacy, or are you having a problem with Jewish people?
Well, it's
and like
yeah.
Go ahead.
It's like how, a lot of people ask me, it's like, how is critical race theory racist? And I say, well, okay, do this experiment, okay? Take any critical race theory page from academia and replace white people with Jewish, then put it on Facebook, and the Trust and Safety Council on Facebook is going to explain to you exactly why it's a problem. Like, they're going to actively...
Okay, so before we get into that, so with CRT, used to be a lawyer. Have you read CRT, and what do you think about it?
So yeah, I actually am a little bit more well-versed than most people. So the critical race theory, by its proponents, it's actually said that it doesn't try to understand how things work. That's what a classical theory does. What the critical theory does is it tries to explain why a system fell short of Marxist values, and those are the values of equity. In other words, like if you have a standardized test, which CRT advocates don't believe in, can you pick a rock? Right? It's a very simple test. Like, can you pick the rock? Yes or no? They will look at it and they will say that how picking a rock is either racist or sexist based on the outcome. So if women can't pick a rock, then the test is sexist towards women. Right? No, seriously, I'm not making it up. So the whole idea of critical theory is to criticize something. And it doesn't matter if the criticism is honest or dishonest. The reason you criticize it is to destabilize the system, because the system cannot function if it comes under bombardment of criticism. And then the people in charge of the system were going to go like, okay, how can we shut this guy up for criticizing us because he's giving us bad PR? Well, let's put him in a position of power, okay? Because if you put the critic in a position of power, surely he's going to have the solutions for the problems that he's experiencing. So what critical theory does is it's good for the critical theorist. It doesn't end racism. It doesn't stop it. But what it does is, like, the people who do the criticism, they get to be placed in positions of power in order to stop criticizing the systems.
Right. That's pretty much a summarization of it. I mean, it's like, how I understand it is, like, everything, what they're trying to do is they're trying to, like, overthrow, I guess, the legal system. Because, like, critical race theory, we understand that it came from law, basically. So I think everybody here in the United States, not everybody, but certain schools, like Ben Shapiro, for example, he went to Harvard Law School. Mm-hmm. He read critical race theory. So pretty much he did a video on it, and he pretty much broke it down. A lot of the opponents of critical race, a lot of the supporters, say that a lot of us don't understand CRT, which is true at my end. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a regular
Yeah, but
person.
you don't need to understand it to see the effects, you know?
Yeah, and so what they're trying to do, like all these when I'm hearing all these like these teachers and stuff, like these teachers, parents and stuff, when they're debating about CRT in schools and stuff like that, they keep saying that it's to teach history, about teach about racist history.
No, it's
like,
pretty much like, you know how the Masons used to manage to infiltrate and have a lot of positions of power because a Mason would promote other Masons, and that's how they managed to get like a lot of institutional control for a while. Like, you don't need to understand Masonry, you don't need to understand their ideology just to see that something is wrong.
Right.
It is the same, like, you don't need to be an evangelist to see why evangelical people can be assholes.
Right. Anything that uses the term white supremacy, we're trying to not overthrow, we're trying to like break down white supremacy, white thinking, whiteness. I'm like, what? I go, that's like trying to say like white people think all the same. You know what I mean? Like, if you were here,
they don't differentiate. They don't differentiate between an Ukrainian and a British person. Like, for them, it's the same.
Or a German, or a Swedish person.
No, but what you need to understand is that they talk about critical race theory, okay? But critical race theory isn't the beginning. It began with critical theory. Critical race theory is an offshoot of the critical theory, and you can have like all sorts of critical theories, because when I started looking into this, I was like, oh my god, like there's just so much to read. Like, you have to read the critical theory for environmentalism and the critical theory for like games and like but you realize that they're literally all the same. Like, critical theory doesn't try to ask the question if something is racist. They try to ask the question how something is racist. So for example, if you're in a store and you have two people coming in, and there's a black person and a white person. Let's say they come in exactly at the same time, hypothetically. Who do you choose to serve first? Well, if you choose to serve the black person first, then you're a racist. Why? Because you can't trust the black person alone in your store for 5 minutes. If you choose to serve the white person first, then you're a racist. Why? Because you have a subconscious bias towards white people, and you think their time is more valuable than a black person. So like, nothing you do. Like, a perfect example now, there's an article coming up, which is the most dumb shit that I have seen, is that gas pumps are sexist because they're made for men. And you have like this woman in UK complaining that she's got like arm pains because like the gas pump is not designed for her small arm. And I think, all right, if you were to have like got pump for men, which has like a big, pump there, and a gas pump for women that's got like a little pump, like a Chiquita pump, so that women can that would be sexist. They would also look at it and they would say, oh, why? So you believe that women are strong enough. But if you actually have like the same gas pump, which operates the same for everyone, well, no, because like women can't use it. So that's literally what they're doing. Like, their purpose isn't to understand how things work, isn't to try to fix things. It's literally to complain. Like, it's a theory just designed for people to complain.
And like everything's like a fucking problem. Like, with me, CRT is like everything is white supremacy. Every system is white supremacy. The legal system itself, the justice system itself.
Yeah, you can Google this. You can Google this. Google like cars are racist, and you're going to find articles explaining how they're racist. You can brooms are racist, and you're going to find articles. Like, that's literally it, right? Like that it's not why or if something is, but it's how it is racist. So
it's like no solution. It's no solution at all. It's just
they don't give they're not interested. No, but I think I accurately explained it. Like, the whole thing is to criticize a system to destabilize it.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's the end goal. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like in an article that I read not too long ago. I think one woman, because of the airport. So like, I don't know if you guys, if the chat or you have ever traveled, but I think it's because the bathroom airports for women was like long. And the men's restroom is not. Therefore, it's sexist because the fact that you didn't make more bathrooms for me. You're like, what the
But like, they don't think. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to explain why that is, because obviously some women have to do things that men don't do in a bathroom. Like, men don't put makeup on in a bathroom, right?
Right. They just pee and go. That's pretty much what they do.
Yeah, they pee and go, really. Yeah, and it's also like they don't wipe, they shake it. Like that that scene. Yeah. Where the Hulk like takes Loki and starts slamming him on the ground and goes like puny god, you know that? Yeah. That's what men do with their penis when they're done peeing. Like, they don't use paper. Like, women are mind blown. Like, my fiance.
That's it. And so it's like it take forever, and so that therefore it causes a lot of the traffic jam,
Mm-hmm.
and because they want to sit there, they want to like they could be on their time of the month, they have to change, they have to
Yeah,
clean
yeah,
themselves, so they take a little bit longer. But just because the airport wasn't prepared for like the people traveling a lot more and stuff like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that the airport that's being built is fucking sexist. That's critical feminist theory, I guess,
yeah,
that
yeah,
exists.
yeah.
The critical theory just breaks everything
But
down, just like you
I
said.
can give you another example of dumb criticism. There was like critical theory in climate science. So there is like critical, I believe it's climatology or something like that. Like most people think it's about scientists crunching numbers, but in reality, no, it's sociologists that are trying to talk. And one of them said it's like, why are we using the Western standardized way of understanding climate by using satellite imagery in order to see how the ice caps are melting? Why can't we instead like use some feminist drawings of her vision and interpretation of the ice cap? But like when you look at it and you analyze it as a sane person, that sounds dumb as fuck. But in reality, it's to destabilize the conversation. Like they're trying to like use this just dumb criticism that you have to engage with to mock and ridicule, and it takes away from other things. Like you can't do your job now; you have to address this bullshit. And you'll notice that when they co-opt the field, like first they co-opt the discussion around the field. So, for example, if they want to co-opt, I don't know, mathematics, they first try to co-opt like the conversation around mathematics. So, mathematics clubs where people just gather around and talk about it, or mathematics magazines, like the things that they can. And once they co-opt those, and it creates the impression that the fandom and the people interested in mathematics are all critical theorists. Then they start co-opting the professors and the people in to the point where you get it's like 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4. Like 2 plus 2
2
can
plus
equal
2
5.
5, or
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they start to like they pretty much break the current system down because of the fact that mathematics was created by the evil white man or something like that. I didn't even know the history of mathematics.
No,
So
it's created by the world. I mean, mathematics has contributions from
China,
China, Muslim nations. I mean, we use Arabic numbers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Roman numbers were ineffective to. It's not that they were ineffective, but they were a lot more cumbersome than the numbers we use now. I mean, everyone had contributions.
And
Anyway,
like majority of the
let me read the super chats. Let me read
Right.
the super chats, and then I'll go have a pee, and I'll leave you alone with the chat for a little bit. Golo Golson for 50 Swedish kroner. In Sweden, gas costs close to $2 a liter. How much does it cost in other country, you guys? I have no idea because I don't drive a car. How much does gas cost here?
Here in the United States, I don't know about. I'm talking Pacific West.
How much does it cost in Pacific West?
It costs about $3.49. I just saw right now.
Christ.
$3.49 a
Yeah,
gallon.
like, oh my god. Baron Vodo, I'm Polish and born in the US. I've been called a colonizer. Yes, Imperial Polish Empire colonizing the world. Hussars with water wings on, yes. Yeah, they don't care. It's like, it's stereotyping.
They don't care.
Yeah.
You can be Polish, you can be Ukrainian, you can be fucking Russian, you can be German. V is white skin tone, and he's a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Here in the United States.
No, they would.
At all. It's just.
Yeah. They would just say that, like if you have a talk with them and you say, well, I come from Eastern Europe, they'll be like, well, yeah, but you're benefiting from the system of like. And I think it's like
even Italians are white.
Yeah, but
Even Italian people are white.
No, but they would say, yeah, okay, but you're benefiting from it. And then I'm like, okay, but, an immigrant then from Nepal that comes into the US, you wouldn't accuse him of benefiting from it.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
Be right back. I'm going to take a leak. You get the chat for yourself for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have control of the chat, so I can't really see. Yeah. My screen right now, like I'm looking at you guys chatting, and it's like blurry at my end, so. 325 in Texas. That's not bad. He said, heck yes, Layman. You said California. I moved to Nevada, by the way. So I moved out. I escaped. What is that? $7.20, $1.70 Canadian. Not bad. 360 in Utah, Craig. $2.70 a gallon in Alabama. Yeah, I'm trying to read here. $3.76 outside of off. I think it's Jonathan. How do the Texans feel about the Californians coming to Texas? Are they fucked up the state yet? Yeah, I do need glasses. You're right. I don't have the duty glasses like the not Mike. Not in Reno. I'm in Tonopah. He said, move to Reno. That's about 4 hours away from me. Yeah, I'm Asian, by the way. You said a white girl. Not a white girl. Do I sound like a white girl? I don't think so. My accent comes out sometimes.
Do you know what I don't get? Why do
People
people
think
why do people always ask me when I go take a leak if I wash my hands? Do you get that question, or do you never go to the bathroom while you're in the podcast?
Yeah, I go to freshman, and so I don't live shows like you. I pretty much do post like I prepare everything. So when we used to we pause and then we go pee.
Mm. No, because like people ask you, and I'm thinking about this. You know, it's like washing your hands. And they're like, okay, if you're in a forest, let's say you're at a picnic, and you go take a pee in the woods, no one asks you. Like it's not required that you wash your hands. Like no one is going to give you a bottle of water. It's like, here, wash your hands.
V, are you looking at the chat? That's interesting with Texas, with Austin, Texas, and I'm like, there's a lot of Californians going to Texas right now, and I go, they're gonna fucking turn the state loose. So the thing, this is just me. So the thing, I don't know if you feel the same way that I do, but like California's going to Texas can turn that fucking state blue because Texas has been holding the Republican, the red state. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, that'd be fucking stupid if they go out of California and vote blue in Texas. It's
Yeah, but that's the
stupid.
question. Like, how many of them vote blue?
That's true. That's true. I mean, like Joe Rogan, everybody, like big tech companies, they're all moving. Not, you know what? I heard that Elon Musk, he wants to move Tesla to Nevada because the fact that Nevada is it's desert. It's pretty much, it's perfect for his company. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But in Nevada, they worry about the Mustangs. So the Mustangs are the horses that run wild. That you see wild horses every single day.
I've never seen a
go
wild
out
horse.
there.
And are they violent? Like, are they aggressive?
No. They're pretty nice. You're not on Instagram, huh? So if you guys follow me on Instagram, it's Boone him. I pretty much film a lot of the wild horses. You see a lot of deer. You see a lot of like big ass spiders.
So if you walk up to a Mustang and give it an apple, will it eat it from your hand, or?
No, it'll probably fucking kick you, man.
You can't do that.
You're supposed to. They're very protected. You have to leave them alone. But a lot of the like PETA and all these animal activists, they're worried about Elon Musk building this, his factory in Nevada because the Mustangs, they roam free. You know what I mean? So I don't know about Romania, your laws on.
Oh no, like I noticed these activist groups, they're very selective in their activism. So for example, when you have the border crisis and you have like thousands upon thousands of people at the border polluting the rivers, and like whenever there's a large gathering of humans, there's going to be like trash and destruction to the environment. They don't care. That's fine. Okay. But if a company wants to build something and there's a forest with spotted owls, all of a sudden they give a shit. So it's really very selective in their activism.
They're very these animal activists, they only go for cute animals, not the other ones.
Political Defiance says, for $10, moved out of California just for it to drag me back from northern Idaho. Gosh, so gorgeous, but alas, need to make money here first, then back to CDA ID.
Idaho. It's pretty.
Yeah, I don't know. I like for a European, it's very difficult to understand the American system. Like, you move to a different state. Like, I think it's like, moving from Romania to Italy. Like, that's how I picture it. Or moving from Italy to Germany. Like, that's how it's like, from moving from one state to another.
So if a Romanian flee Romania, where would you go? I hear a lot of people go to okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Romanians don't flee Romania. They go to, start their life somewhere else, I guess. But it's usually so it depends on the type of person. Like if it's a person that doesn't have the ability to perform skilled labor, like they didn't go to a university, then they go to Latin language speaking countries. So Spain, Italy, maybe Germany. But if it's someone with skilled labor, then they can go anywhere. They usually go to the UK, but now that it's closed because of Brexit, I think they're probably going to go to maybe Germany or France or those types of places.
Yeah. So like when you got your degrees, did you have like a job like opportunities? Because here in the United States, if somebody say, "Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer," oh, you have opportunities, or like is that the same thing in Romania? Did you have like an easy type of job over there? I don't know how much they get paid.
I mean,
Doctors?
yes, no, not really. Like when I was there, I was paid $300 per month, and because of a lot of doctors leaving, you had to fill the job of two or three other doctors. Like when you are on call, when you're on watch, you'd go to the hospital at 6 a.m. and go back home the other day at 4 p.m. and then you start working again the next day. And you have to
Right.
do that like 4 or 5 times a month. You don't get paid extra. So yeah, I mean that's the main reason that I didn't stayed in the system and I took an unpaid leave, indefinite unpaid leave. But a lot of people they just go to Germany, they go to France, and they work there. They get like really good reviews.
Right. Right. So in like in Europe, like you like the how can I say this? So when you guys go to like like the borders, if you would have go over the border, do you have to like have a passport to cross
No, you
over?
can go. I mean, depends where you go, right? So if I go to Moldavia, which is like near Russia, then I need a passport.
Mm,
If I go to the EU, I can just go with an ID.
mm,
If I go to Britain, I
yeah,
think I need a passport now.
yeah. I mean, I think they're on a lockdown again. I think because of the Delta variant. I think COVID. There's
Uh-huh.
a new Delta variant. So
The
now
India
back.
strain. Dun dun dun.
How is I have like to be honest with you guys, like this whole COVID-19 shit. Like I'm not we're not gonna talk about it because I don't want to get that. But like I'm so tired of it by now. Like come on, is there a solution by now? It's been like a fucking year. We've been
I would rather
th-
not discuss it on YouTube for like
yeah.
yeah I said like back in the day when I was a young lad I would say slurs on YouTube. I don't do that anymore, obviously. They were never mean like it was more for like a funny thing. But I didn't get punished for that. But if I were to talk about COVID, then I would probably get TOS violations.
Man, they're very strict about us, so we're gonna move along. I
Yes,
mean, a lot
yes.
of people call us pussies. They're gonna call us pussies. So I was like, we're gonna be listening.
But
We're gonna move
I love
along.
the thing. Like I'll tell you this though, right? So, because like in history, it's kind of normal to give like the name of the place where the disease starts. It's like the Spanish flu, the West
Right.
Nile fever or whatever. Like the Rocky Mountains fever. Like yeah, where the first case is located, usually that's customary to name the disease there. But
Right.
all of a sudden it's not okay because it came from China, right? So the CCP, well, yeah, and it's like, oh
Oh
well,
my god.
like
No,
okay, right. So
we
so
can't criticize Chinese. Yeah.
yeah, so for a while you weren't able to say like the Chinese whatever, uh, but people were saying like the India strain and they were saying like the what was the Brazilian strain, and I
They
was
said
like
the
yeah, and I was like, okay, so you're saying that if you call it the Chinese thingy, then it advocates for violence against Chinese people. Okay, that's your theory, all right? Why isn't
right.
there like a rise in violence towards Indians or towards Brazilian people? And then they realized, oh shit, they may have a point. So let's call it the Delta variant. Let's call it the okay, right? Um,
And it's soon gonna be like it's gonna be hate speech but against Delta Airlines.
yeah, the Delta Airlines. Subject to change for 4.99 says like. You say like a lot. Say like.
Yeah, it's in California, man.
Yeah, like
Valley
California,
girl.
like yeah.
we like
Ah!
because we say things because there's certain areas where you say things and we know where you're from, but in the United States we're all the same. I mean, you can go, to fucking Florida, you see somebody that looks like, you know what I mean? So it's like it's very diverse here in the United States. I don't know why AEC and AOC say, the United States is like the Nazi Germany. They're all the racist. Yeah, okay,
Nazi
buddy.
Germany. Well, Nazi Germany decided to put AOC in charge. So, what does that say about her?
I haven't heard anything from this law. I think I heard about maybe about like the I guess some anti-Semite comment, but they've been pretty quiet since January 6th. Her story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much bought off by the Democrats. The squad actually voted for funding the Washington police with a couple of $1 billion. So, well, they voted present, which is literally the same thing. Trey 50 Daniels for $10 here to contribute to fan disservice. Yeah, I'm going to coin the phrase fan disservice. Like fan service is when they make like pretty women just for the fans, like even if it doesn't make lore sense, like a big titty lady with a big ass sword like fighting melee. That doesn't make real sense, but like the fans like it. Fan disservice is when the authors go literally to spite the fans, like they do their best in order to piss the fans off.
I don't know, V. I mean, if you were a chick, I think you made money because Romanian people are very, very beautiful people. Even when they're gorgeous. I mean, like a lady. What is it that in Resident Evil? What's her name? Lady
Dimitrescu, yeah, Lady Dimitrescu, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
really? I didn't even like her.
she's gorgeous.
I didn't think she's gorgeous. Like her facial animations were really bad, but okay. I guess.
I mean, look, I know I shouldn't do that.
By the way, you're a robot, which is probably why I'm cutting you off all the time. Like your voice is distorted, lag, internet bad, connection wrong.
Yeah, I knew this would happen because it's Okay, let's wait a little bit. I don't fuck shit up.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all now.
You're starting to break away from me too.
There are pretty people in California.
Yeah, because they're fake, dude. Everything's fake. Their boobs fake. Their butt is fake. Their lips fake. Everything's fake. But Romania.
Do you know that I actually had a lesbian from California contacting me, and she's like, V, I've been a very long fan of your show, and I'm like, no, I don't recognize you because I know the people who are. It's like, no, I'm shy. I don't like to engage with people, and it's like, okay. I'm a lesbian and I don't like leftist culture.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, that's a problem. Like, so what you're saying is that you're a lesbian, but you want to marry a good, decent Christian woman. And she's like, yes. Like, well, that's...
Those people, those people exist. I mean, the culture, like the LGBTQ plus. Have you ever, you've seen... I mean, here in the U.S., the people who are in America in the chat, I mean, it's pretty like not for kids, man. It's like you see a lot of people walking with their butts out and like boobs out. I'm like, is this it? It's like, this is pretty inappropriate. But I mean, if you say something like that, I mean, you're a bigot. I mean,
yeah, no. I think like Christian lesbians exist, but. Like, you're already a lesbian, so the pool of people interested in you is a lot smaller than the general population, right? And then you're looking for, like, a subsection of a subsection. Like, you're, you know?
You hear a lot of people saying, like, I'm a conservative gay, I'm a conservative lesbian, I'm... Like I said, American politics, everything's breaking into branches. Like, it's so much to, like, I don't even know what to do. I mean, there's different branches of the libertarian.
Yeah, I mean, I told her, it's like, I don't know, like, go on Facebook and try to find a group like Lesbians for Christ or some shit, like, try to find...
For Lesbian for Christ.
Like, try to find that. I don't know, like, try to find LGBT pro-God activists. I mean, there actually was, like, First Amendment for gays, like, a group on Facebook that got banned,
Yeah, I mean, if you are, we have to admit there's politically black and racially black. There's
Oh yeah,
politically
they
left.
like politically black is with capital B. Like they actually consider black to be an ideology now.
I mean, like if you look at the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, he's not racially black for
Yeah.
sure. Biden is racially black to these people. It's like you can't fight with them. I mean, you're always so it's just like I said, the politics is just breaking into many subsections and categories to the point where you're like, I don't even know what's what anymore. Like there's different alt rights movement, there's different alt left movements, there's socialists. There's like there was I heard there was like different branches of socialism breaking up in here in the United States where there's socialists like the Star Trek socialists. I don't know what the fuck that means. And then there's, just like I said, just different branches. It's like I don't even know what the fuck what's going on anymore. Like, what are you guys? It's just like me. Like a culture of narcissists, man. It's like me, look at me.
Oh,
So
I made a video on my main channel today where I talk about an article that's targeting to teenage girls, and it's only like why taking advantage of people isn't a bad thing, and I'm like, okay.
it's like, okay, it's like it's so sick of it, dude. Like to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna move out of the country. Just move out of the country. It's like somewhere, but I like the American culture because the 4th of July is coming up. It's our Independence Day. All right, we're gonna blow some shit up and barbecue. That's pretty much our culture here in the United States of America, and people are proud of it here. You know what I mean?
Does Dr. Fauci allow you to? I mean, did you ask permission before?
No, like in Nevada, yes, you cannot wear a mask if you're vaccinated. Don't wear a mask. Nobody gives a shit here in Nevada. They leave you alone. But if you're not in the big cities, if you're like semi-big cities, nobody gives a fuck.
Did they ask for like passport? Do they want to see like
No.
the code?
No, they really care. Like I said, like all the rest of the world, not all the rest of the world, like the red states, like or independent, they moved on. Like, oh well, you're vaccinated, don't wear a mask. But
Yeah,
in
but how
California,
do they know you're vaccinated? That's my question. Like, do they?
I don't know. They don't ask. Yeah, they just let you through. They're like, whatever. Just I don't want
So
to.
it's like face value. It's like.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what it is. I mean, like I said, I don't know about California now because at first I heard that everything was opening up, and then all of a sudden I hear that you're wearing a mask again. So if you guys in California, if it was back to where it was, I don't know, but the 4th of July is really a part of our culture. So like I've heard that people want to like the Democrats wants to ban fireworks. Period. Where I used to live, they want to ban fireworks completely, but that's part of our culture. We blow that shit up. That's what we do. So Fauci said that you guys, they're making it seem that the Delta variant's very, very, very dangerous and scary. So don't celebrate the 4th of July. So, but here I'm just gonna.
Yeah, but for
anyway.
Juneteenth they didn't say that. Did you notice? Like they didn't say don't celebrate Juneteenth. They didn't say don't celebrate Pride Month.
Nope.
Am I wrong? Like no, seriously, I'm willing to be proven wrong. Is there like any article that say, hey, like maybe it's not a good idea to go on Pride Month this year because Delta variant? Like I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I would love to see it. Or don't go celebrate Juneteenth. In fact, I know the opposite. There's like this. I think it was in Vancouver. I might be wrong, but they literally said it's like, hey, this Juneteenth, go out and celebrate. And then literally in the other article, it's like, this 4th of July, we're not going to have an actual celebration, but you can celebrate it online, like a virtual 4th of July thing. And I'm like, oh, that's.
What
that's
about Canada? Isn't Canada like they're still on their lockdowns?
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's like every country's like doing everything different. But like I said, our celebration here, the 4th of July is this weekend. So I'm gonna be doing my own thing. I mean, it's I'm not vaccinated or anything like that, but it's just it is what it is. I mean, it's a small town and people do what they got to do. But in California, I think they're like, be careful about COVID-19 and make sure you continue to social distance. I mean, I think California is like the most vaccinated out of the entire country, period. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I mean, I just want to say that I think the Delta variant is incredibly woke because it waited it waited until after Juneteenth and Pride Month. So, kudos to that. Politically Defiant, which I wonder if he has any more money left, says no fireworks for the Bay Area, but I hear them patriots firing off the mortars.
The Bay Area? What the fuck? They can't celebrate that? Like, they can't shoot fireworks in the Bay? That's crazy. I'm not. That's not. I've
Oh
been
my god, like
shooting fireworks.
I heard this dumb shit in Romania as well. It's like we shouldn't use fireworks because we got like so many stray dogs in the city, and they're really afraid whenever the fireworks are up. And it's like, motherfucker, what do you think they do during a storm? Like if there is a thunderstorm, what do you think the dogs do? Are you shitting me? It's like, oh, so we can't have celebration because of the fucking stray dogs. Castrate them. Castrate the stray dogs.
That's what they do. That's what they do in the United States. If there were strays, well, you know what? Like I said, Americans is very dog culture. We love our dogs. So in Romania, they just let them roam. They don't. Like you guys don't have animal control or anything like that. It takes,
Oh, we do
like,
have
care of
animal
dogs.
control. Yeah. We tried that because like here's the problem in Romania, right? We during communism, the dictator wanted to move a lot of people from the rural area forcefully towards the city, and because you didn't
Right.
own your house under socialism, the government owned your house. They could do that, so they could literally tell us like, yeah, you're moving to the city now, and a lot of people left their animals to die because they couldn't take them to the city, right? So you had like chickens, farm animals, all of that left behind. And there was a lot of dogs. Now the cows didn't make it, but the dogs did. So it's a massive influx of dogs coming from the rural areas. And all of these dogs now are in the city. They even killed people because you get to see stray dogs on the. And of course, the government wanted to do something about it. Like initially, they wanted to just euthanize them, but no, like the people were against that. So then they were like, okay, let's castrate them. And you go to take the dog to castrate, like the dog catcher comes, and you have like 10 or 20 people with bats beating the dog catcher and its van because it's trying to take away Fido, which is a really good boy. And yeah, no, I'm serious, right?
Don't cut his balls. Don't do it. No.
Yeah, like what these people don't understand is that while during the daytime the dogs are peaceful, during
Right.
the night they form packs and they go out hunting, right? And they're very territorial. So if you happen to go in a neighborhood where the dog doesn't recognize you, then you get surrounded by the pack and they bite. They're very aggressive. But you get like the animal rights activists that go, it's like, oh no, they're very nice. Like you just don't know Fido like I do. And it's like, motherfucker, you just don't go out at 3 a.m. like I do.
You can't even go like running or anything. Like you're just gonna get attacked by a pack of dogs. It's like that's what they do here with cats. They don't. They don't normally do it with dogs. They don't let dogs roam around. They let cats because cats can pretty much just hunt and do
But
their own
cats are
thing.
harmless. Like I'm not afraid of a fucking cat. You know, it's just
It's like the motherfucker's not gonna chase me and eat my ass. It's like,
yeah. I mean, no, like it's funny until you actually get to experience it. Do you know how nasty it is to get surrounded by 20 dogs that all bark at you and they're vicious and shit and they go towards you? It's not a pleasant experience and people died. Like there was this old lady that went to the hospital and she got discharged. I believe it was like 7 p.m. But she lived in the rural area, so she couldn't go home right away. And as she's traveling home, it's getting dark, and a pack of dogs attack her. And they find a lung of her under a car or some shit. Like it was really gruesome. The press loved it because they could write an article about it, so they can monetize.
right.
But it was like a 90-year-old lady, and she got ripped apart by a pack of wild dogs. Right? It's feral dogs, not wild. Feral. And people are still defending the dogs, and I'm like, Jesus, like, well, if after this people still defend the dogs, I don't know. And there were even like kids, like 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, just ripped apart by these feral dogs. And the first thing the activists do, literally the first thing, it's like, oh well, like we shouldn't blame the dog because it's not it's not their fault. Like they don't understand. And it's like, oh my god.
You can't win. I mean, like with these activists because they think in kind of like an emotional,
Yeah, but
side
I'm
of
emotional
things.
about the kid dying. Like that's where the emotion is at. But these people are pathological.
Their moral values. It's kind of like I wouldn't say backwards because who am I to argue? But like with us, we see things because we're more human. Like
No,
like a human.
I know. You just need a mayor like that. That's what you need. You need a mayor that doesn't give a fuck about the activists because he understands that the overwhelming majority of people doesn't want the dogs. Like what I would do is that I would put a huge fine, a massive fine on whomever feeds stray dogs. You want a stray dog? That's good. Take him in your house. Adopt him. Okay? Like if the dog is outside and you feed it or you give it water, boom, massive fine.
Right.
Because like
Right,
the problem is like you get like all these old ladies that feed the dogs, and you get like a city block, like a neighborhood, you know, that's surrounded by feral dogs because they gravitate there because that's where the food is at. If there would be no food in the city, they would go towards the forest. They would go to the outskirts of the city.
Right.
The problem would fix itself. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even go after like no dog catcher, no nothing. You showed me like an old lady that feeds a dog, $1,000 fine.
Fine, right there,
Yeah.
and that. I don't really like hear anything like that here, because like I said, American culture, we're very we love our dogs. Even our cats. You see a lot of people like a lot of the crazy cat lady. I think like a lot of people like to own a lot of cats, so they feed them outside. So you see a lot of cats in your neighborhood, and they get a lot of the cat ladies make the argument that it keeps the mice under control. Yeah, in a rural area, I totally understand, but in a city sense, it depends on like if it's like New York because their rat problem's really bad. You know what I mean? So I understand cats in that purpose, but then it's just like a regular neighborhood, like suburban. Then it becomes a problem. Then you have cats everywhere spraying things. They poop and they bury it.
They
and
don't
start to
kill
sell them.
people, like that's why I
They
don't
don't kill-
like
yeah.
cats. It's like they don't kill people. They don't like I've been at a hospital and I haven't seen a single gunshot wound in Romania, but I have seen people mauled by dogs. Like it's awful. Like these people are scarred for life. There was actually there was this guy which was actually a male model. Like he would model in magazines and stuff, a dog bit him on the face. Like it was just like it completely tore all the way to the bone, and I was like, "Fuck me!" Like this guy just lost his job. He's never going to be able to work again.
And rabies too, like the
Oh no, that's fine. Like you get rabies shots, so it's fine. But
Yeah.
Gus from Canada responds to you saying, "Here in Canada, we're currently still in lockdown, but we're kind of opening up a bit now, at least."
what's wrong with Canada? It's a year, guys. How you say? It's a year, eh? It's a year.
Well, what was it like 2 weeks to flatten the curve?
I mean, in Canada, I think they arrest people, bro. In Canada, I've seen videos that they beat the shit out of people and arrest them.
Oh,
Crazy.
my favorite one was with that Polish at the church. It's like, you're not allowed, Nazi, get out, Nazi, Gestapo, communist scum, get out, you're not allowed. Do you know it?
Like, get out!
Yeah,
Get out, you're not-
Nazi,
out.
Nazi, Gestapo is not welcome here. Communist scum during Easter, the sacredest holiday, the sacredest Christian holiday.
Get out! Get out! I thought that was in another country, but it's in Canada.
Yeah, like Nazi, not
Holy
welcome here.
shit!
Well, it was a Polish guy, because like I knew he was Polish when he equated Nazis with communists, because in Poland, like half of Poland was communist, half of Poland was Nazis, and the people living there couldn't know the fucking difference.
And we have one Polish person here. So in Poland, they're anti like communist and Nazi. Both. They're like fuck you, right? Both. I think. They're banned. I think both ideologies are.
Oh yeah, in Eastern
from
Europe,
there.
like in the majority of Eastern Europe, both Nazism and communism is banned.
So like fuck you. I fucking hate all of you. It's like the thing is like the Americans here, like they're like pro-socialist and like communist and stuff like that. Like you said, maybe what needs to happen is just buy a land and just let the communists roam there. Buy a land, put the Nazis there, and see who will get genocide first. Worst one. Let's do the experimentation. It sounds fucked up I say that, but we're having all these movements like the alt-right and alt-left happening. So, it's crazy, man, living here. And it's entertainment for you because you're in Romania. You're watching.
Well, no, it's not entertainment because I want Americans to do good. I get less super chats if Americans do bad. But secondly, yeah, but it's like everything is downstream. Like most of Romanian culture is American culture. Like we listen to American songs, we listen to we watch American movies, we play American games, we read American books. It's like no, I don't want America to become communist, like far left. Someone said that the Polish guy got arrested.
Oh shit!
Uh,
Holy crap! Did he get fined for it?
I
For
don't know.
that?
Apparently he got arrested.
Holy
The
crap.
secret police dragged him off.
So get out, and then they fucking they're arrested. We shouldn't laugh. I thought it was pretty funny when he said it, but
That's funny, but he had the balls, but like people like him, they're like, but that's what happened when communism came in Romania. The priests were the first to get it, so
yeah,
you should have converted to Islam. Like they wouldn't do that to a Muslim.
You know what?
Eastern Europe is wrong about banning ideology. Okay, shut up, Abdi. You know nothing of this though. You know nothing.
Damn, it's like Eastern Europe. Like when you look at the pictures and stuff like that, like in Bulgaria and stuff like that, it's like a lot of like high up buildings and stuff. It looks like New York, but more depressing.
I mean, well, like banning. No, the thing is, like banning ideologies doesn't really work, right? Because you still have
true.
like, for example, criticizing the Holocaust here is illegal by law. But if you look at the history, yeah, it's illegal.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to dot it. But if you look at the Romanian history university, I mean, there's so many university professors that flat out deny it, even though it's illegal to do so.
Right.
So like it's rarely applied. Like these laws are rarely applied, but at least you're not going to get like a Nazi university funded by the taxpayer. You're not going to get like a communist university funded by the taxpayer. Like that. That's...
You see that in the West. In the West, they fund these fucking people, these radicals on the left. I don't see on the right. You don't see any Nazi professors. Not that I know of.
No, the closest thing you get to Nazism is probably a radical Islam, like the
Well, okay.
Yeah, the Pakistani variant. Let's put it the Delta variant of Islam. But no, like you get like there was like this Muslim on the media. Yeah, this imam. Sorry, not a Muslim. So he was an imam, and he was like, oh, well, it's out of compassion that we're against the gays and we killed them. It's out of compassion, like death is the sentence. And I was like, okay, well, like that's literally what Hitler would have said. But like that's the only way you can say it in the West right now without getting people like really abhorred. They're like, oh, well, like he's an imam. He's a little bit more radical than the rest, but okay.
You guys be careful. Get to find. He said he was arrested on the highway too. I think he's talking about the Canadian guy.
They blocked 2 lanes to arrest him. Holy shit, that could actually make
Holy
a good
shit.
movie. Yeah. See, I'm telling you, political defiant is running out of body. Like his donations aren't yellow anymore; they're turning green. Like soon they're going to turning blue. I'm robbing political defiant blind. Give me a second. I need to take the cat.
But he's supporting you. He's supporting you, and that's that. Thank you, politically defiant, for your super
I
chats.
think
We really
he understands that I'm joking.
Because B meets Combs. Because
No, but like I feel bad. I feel bad. Like I don't know that. I don't think that this stream is that entertaining, and he keeps pumping money into me. Just
come on, B, we're both entertaining. They enjoy my likes and they enjoy trashing on my Californian accent and trying to figure out if I'm Asian or white. It's awesome, bro.
do you give a lot of likes on Facebook?
No, not you. We're friends on Facebook. I don't even get a lot of attention. I'm friends with a lot of them, like a lot of these people who are in the culture war, stuff like that. We're both friends with John Wong. If you guys don't know who John Wong is, he is the producer of the the Locust podcast. Sargonast, I can't pronounce
Locust
it.
Eater.
The Locust
Eater.
The Locust Eater. Every time I say it,
Fucking God! I'm going to end the stream now. Political defiance just gave me $50. Also, Abdi Muhammad, who's a Muslim, says legit hatred of Jews is rampant in the Muslim world. Like I know, like here's the funny part.
look, he gave you $50, bro. Look, see how nice he is. Right
yeah,
on,
I know,
man.
like it's. So there was like this Twitter account which would translate stuff from quote unquote Muslim Twitter. Like the Twitter in Arabic. He got banned. He got banned in a couple of days. I think it was for anti-Semitism.
Oh, look at I like that comment right there by Finn Frog. You see it? He said the U.S. right there. It says the USSR and CCP and North Korea, Pol Pot, and the other examples of Marxist fuel ideology progressed into this authoritarian and read it depots or some strange reason must be. You keep moving it. That's it on it. I mean,
Yeah,
all
I
these
know
like Pol Pot and stuff.
you're roboting, so I can't hear you.
They were educated from these schools for sure. Like, how come we're not saying? How come we're not banning that? I mean, they're afraid that 4chan is radicalizing the alt-right movement, right? But what about schools?
4chan is
Pol Pot
like
and stuff.
Reddit. Yeah, like 4chan is like Reddit used to be 4 years ago. I mean, even 4chan is really watered down. So.
I've never been on that platform. I don't even know how to get there.
Well, you Google 4chan, you press enter, and then you click on it, and you're there.
You just right. There's 4chan and there's 8chan. I don't know the difference. Aren't they saying from the same person? Like the,
No, it was like during Gamergate. 4chan was
Uh,
banning people that were talking about Gamergate, and they created the 8chan as an exodus.
Oh, okay. So 4chan, 8chan is that Wild West of the internet? Like anything goes on there? That's what I've heard.
No, they still have
Anything
terms
goes.
of service to some degree. So, but it's a lot more free speechy than other websites. I mean, it's like Reddit pretty
Okay.
much, but without like everyone is anonymous. So if you post something there, no one knows it's you. Um,
Right.
and it kind of goes against like creating a cult of personality or like having a topic being upvoted. Like there's no upvote. It's literally just ideas. Like it's the idea that you have that if it's good, it's going to stay on merit, not because of who said it or anything like that.
Yeah. So you're anonymous, really. I mean, at Temple, he made the argument not to engage with people with avatar and like not their real names, and I was like, that's a bad take. It's like, because of the fact that a lot of people they want to remain
No,
anonymous.
not really. It's not really a bad take. I mean,
What
obviously
do you think?
you're a person and you can engage with whom you want, right? But you notice that on Twitter, the people with avatars that don't have names have burner accounts, which means that they don't care if they get
Okay, I
banned
see
or
what you're
not.
saying. Yeah.
Right. So
I
they
see
will
what you're
just
saying.
I mean they go there, they antagonize just to get a reaction out of you, and there's
Okay.
I mean the idea of ignoring the trolls have always existed, and it's pretty much like there's no point in engaging with them because they're not going to change their mind. Like they're doing it in order to piss you off. Like they will say anything in order to piss you off, and it's like why would you engage with such a person? Now, of course,
Okay.
yeah, like of course you can tell the difference. Like you can tell the difference between someone that's honest and legitimately wants to have a conversation versus someone that's just there to antagonize
Right. And so I understand like the kind of both sides. I'm kind of leaning toward your argument now because I get because you see a lot of people who make parlor accounts and they will go on there and say like race ass stuff just to make parlor look at.
you. Yeah.
I Lauren Chen was on there and somebody posted on the comment section saying all kinds of racist Chinese slang to her.
Yeah. I mean
And
that's the value of it, yeah.
obviously these people are leftists, you know what I mean? So like I see what you're trying to say. A lot of Twitter, I'm not on Twitter. I should make a Twitter just for the fuck of it.
Give me a second. I'll be right back. Give me another second.
You gotta pee again.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me try to like zoom in for you guys. So Dimple, so he's just a snake. I wrote Temple. Someone wrote Dimple. Also, you guys are not like fans of Temple anymore, or not fan. I'm not saying you guys were fans before, but I've been hearing a lot of people say that Temple kind of needs a vacation, which I think he kind of does. I mean, working that long, that there's PewDiePie and there's Temple, but Temple he talks about politics and is really exhausting. Whereas PewDiePie he's kind of post funny stuff, so I can see where he can get really exhausted.
I'm back.
It's also like VP. That's funny.
How frequent do I
Twitter
pee? I pee quite frequently when I drink beers.
You're drinking beer now? I'm drinking
Yeah, I
coffee,
drank.
by the way.
So since the stream started, I think I drank 1 liter of beer. Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. You drink wine? Wine's really relaxing.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, it depends if it's a special occasion. I don't really drink.
I like how Chris Hill said, everyone look up Miss Nevada. Men are better looking than women.
People talk about Tim Pool. So I actually like Tim Pool, but I can't watch his videos anymore. I mean, he talks like 30 or 40 minutes on a subject. It's like, fuck me, dude. Just bring it down to 10 minutes. There's no reason why you go on a rant, like 30 minutes talking about the same shit. And he repeats it again and again and again. And I'm like, fuck. How do people watch that? Huh?
He has his own I think article he was loose. So I'm not really sure what he's doing now, but I stopped watching Tim Pool a while back because, like I said, it's pretty repetitive after the election because he talks about politics a lot. That's pretty much his podcast.
Okay.
And he talks about UFOs. It's okay, we get it. You like UFOs. Can you talk about like anything else, like psychedelics? Can you talk about the military involvement with the I like the topic of when the FBI. The funny thing about the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation here in America, if you guys don't know what that organization is, they infiltrated a lot of these leftist Marxist movement during the 1960s and 70s. They even wrote a letter to tell Dr. Luther King to commit suicide. Talk about things like that. It's pretty interesting about conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But I totally understand because of the fact that Alex Jones and stuff talks about that stuff. But the thing is that I think with him, he's trying to be careful. But he had Steve Bannon on. Steve Bannon is
He had Steve Bannon on? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that conversation was actually pretty interesting. I mean, I don't know about you, V, but like I get like Candace Owens, stuff like that. The I own you, the writing person, like I own you type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Like the zinger, like zing.
Yeah, I want to actually to understand like how can we take control of back the culture because the leftists, they pretty much dominate. I'm not saying liberal, I'm saying leftist. They dominate everything. They dominate the culture. They dominate the powers of the government. We have a Democrat in power. Mm-hmm. But Stan, he pretty much, a lot of people said that he's like Machiavellian, I guess, in his politics. But when you listen to that conversation, that's actually pretty good. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I get conversations.
I'll have to listen to it because I haven't seen it. But anyway, like my fiance complained because she wants to study and it's getting late, so I should.
Okay.
Well, it was nice having you. We should do this again if you're willing.
Yeah, I made you a lot of money today, bro. So you better go buy.
I'm going to have you again. I mean, political defy has been built. He's not going to get any more money. Like he's going to go to his wife and have to explain.
You missed it, man. You're like boop boop boop. Give somebody.
All right.
You made that's bomb.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it.